new supers, fresh for everyone. With bugs, the struggle is real. That's why you need Zevo Traps. Zevo attracts and traps bugs 24/7 using a blue and UV light with no odor and no mess for effortless protection. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
Hey, mister, you want some wine?
Golden Child, what up, though? Happy Monday evening. Monday's pretty much done. It's 30 minutes from the day being over and shit, but yeah. How you doing? What you got going on? I'm coming in off my break. You hear the Tyron? You flying into the war zone or something? Like, what? Buy some new property after the fire and all that. I feel you. I see what's going on. Nah, your peeps got shit out there, or you headed out there for modeling or vacation? The fuck? Photo shoot, okay. Are your flight leave tonight? The flight probably leaves 7 in the morning. Is that an hour flight from down?
I would say ATTACK, but I don't want to get demonetized. It is a sneak thing
Yeah, I saw the flight already booked.
Now, this case was supposed to end rest somewhere between July 4th and July 18th. The defense had anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks to put on their defense. They said they were going to put on defense. They gave the prosecution a list of hundreds of witnesses that it would, well, not hundreds, but almost 100 witnesses that it would be, the prosecution came out last week and said, Your Honor, it would be almost impossible for them to actually interview all these people and to put them up on the witness stand. So what is really going on? The defense came back and said, Mark Agnifilio, Yana, we're still looking into our witnesses. The prosecution is like, all right, you need to tell us something because this don't even make sense. Yana, we're still looking into it. Again, this team has been a master of saying one thing and doing the other. We cannot forget that they are the master of saying one thing and doing the other. Again, what does this team do?
Everything he appealed for so far,
And then they tell you something else.
denied.
Again, said, thanks for the update.
Notice a pattern.
So when they tell us that Diddy is not going to testify, do y'all really believe him? Do y'all really believe him? Do you really believe what Diddy is putting down? That, in fact, he will not testify. Now let me tell you why it doesn't make any sense. First of all, okay, Diddy is an egomaniac. Now there's a chance that he really won't testify, but Diddy is an egomaniac. Diddy thinks he can charm a nation. Diddy is sitting there winking around a mango, making cool eyes to somebody else, doing this and that, trying to charm the audience. Spoiler alert, Kid Boy's my ass, because he already knows, baby, it ain't happening, not now, not ever. We gonna keep the foot on the neck, on the gas, dig the hole, whatever you wanna call it, put that mofo in the ground, okay? But the whole point of the matter is, all these people saying, we have it on reports that Diddy won't take the stand. They also had it on reports that they were going to put on an all-star defense, where there was going to be 2 to 4 weeks of people that were going to come out and prove unequivocally. When did it happen? Once the government was put to the course with Judge Aaron and the prosecution, it went from 4 weeks to 2 weeks to hundreds of, like, a list of almost 100 witnesses to, oh, it's going to be 3 to 5 days. And then once Judge Aaron was like, can y'all stop playing and let us know what's up? Come on, like, the prosecution is about to rest. They even out cross-examination so the prosecution couldn't rest on time. The prosecution thought they were going to rest by last Wednesday.
Well, there's
or
no
Friday.
problem. If you had a
And what
gun,
ended
shoot
up
him in the head.
happening,
That's a
we
sure way to
expect
kill
our
him.
defense to take 1 to 2 days, right? Giannis, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Cindy Evans, Nurse Janice UK, Jedi Mind Trick, Honey Say That, and Reds. Make sure y'all thank, and everybody thanks Giannis for putting it out. It went from saying they were going to have an all-star cast to day one. It went from Kanye West doing the most, which, by the way, we don't have to talk about that Kanye West connection, because it made me think, what does Diddy have on Kanye? And I'm being serious, because Kanye is embroiled in a lawsuit right now with his ex-personal assistant, ex-chief of staff that has an amazing link to Diddy.
Purchase
And
your tracks
you
today.
could even argue that Kanye is doing his best to sabotage Diddy. Even though he's been showing up and supporting Diddy, Kanye can't stand Diddy. Last time he did it, he said, F the J people. I said, oh, that ain't gonna play well. Because Donald Trump's brother, son-in-law, who he loves very much, and is the apple of his favorite child, Ivanka's eye, that's hardcore, Jay, okay? On top of that, the other time he said something, he literally showed up in a full head-to-toe
Quiet.
leather Kate Klans outfit. Come on, I look, I think the white one was better, but the black one might work. And I said, baby, I know Gemini mind games, and I know sabotage when I see it, but I'll say
Purchase
that
your
one
tracks
is the
today.
deal, because it needs to be said. A little
Been
late.
quiet.
It needs to be said. Might be nothing,
No problems.
or it might be everything. Life is like a box of chocolates, and there's so much more.
Kinda cool. It wasn't that hot here today.
Artist 77, thank you for being a member for 40 bucks. You've been a member since I first started YouTube. You said Jesus on the scene. Yes, I am. So what does that mean? Let me get actually back on track, okay? Because it's important to say, I'm Hollywood. Thank you so much for the super chat. So what does this mean? It means that we can't trust a word that Diddy's team says. They have not been honest or forthcoming the whole time. Now, I understand it's trial theory. You never know what you never want the prosecution to know what you're doing, and you want the prosecution to have the least amount of notice that they could ever have. I 100% understand that. I would be doing the same thing. This is legal strategy, but I think it's
yourself? How's your day been?
Because you know that as soon as, right? As soon as Diddy's team releases everything, it's always a 180. They throw Miss Charles, they do this. I knew they had lost the plot with Brian, so when we, what is this? Sorry, something fell on me. I knew Brian, they had lost the plot. Rance, thank you. When we saw Diddy turn around and nod his head to, I guess, his family and mouth something, and the prosecution said Diddy is still nodding and making, Diddy is still nodding and making testimony, right? Which, that's what it is, nonverbal testimony. And Brian still stood up and said, "No, I was sitting by him the whole time, and I can assure you," I'm sorry, that's Brian still. "No, I was sitting by him the whole time, and I can assure you," and he said the state of his professional reputation. Meanwhile, if you look at the court sketches, the court sketch artist has a sketch of the moment Diddy turned around and was nodding his head and talking to the people in the back. And I said, okay, I get it. This is what you're paid for. You guys have lost the plot. But at the end of the day, they are trying to keep him out of prison, baby. If I was facing life in prison, I would be doing everything I could to stay out of prison. So this whole thing about sources say, Diddy's team says he won't be taking a stand. And Diddy was 100% not taking a stand. His legal team would have gone on record to their best friends, TMZ, and said, the mofo's not getting on the stand, so just knock it off. The fact that they haven't, the fact that they won't, lets me know that there's a lot that they still haven't made the decision. Diddy is an egomaniac. He thinks he can charm everybody. Again, maybe he feels like if he takes a stand for appeal or mistrial by a hung jury, that might mess things up. Again, if you guys don't want to see what the jury verdict is and instructions and the way that they're trying to set things up for appeal versus the way the prosecution is coming forward with it, they got to put on the neck. I did a live last night where everybody wondering, is it Rico, is it Rico, is it Rico? You don't have to wonder anymore. If the feds actually, sorry, I'm trying to dodge this. The feds are also, the feds actually proved their own case. If you read the original indictment had nothing but illegal stuff in it. Every sentence was like, this is a crime, this is a crime, this is a crime. And when you read the original indictment, line by line, word for word, they have proven that all that stuff happened. Again, like I was saying to my friend this morning, right? I was like, yo, Todd, the feds have proven the case. It's like saying, hey, you robbed me. Yeah, but. Okay, so the fact that you robbed me, the robbery is a crime. Everything after, yeah, but that's inconsequential. You robbed me. Look at O.J. Simpson. Cosby got straight in jail because somebody had stolen his sports memorabilia. Somebody had stolen, and refused to give it back. O.J. Simpson then went into the hotel room in Vegas and retrieved his property. The only thing is, it was a robbery. Now, O.J. Simpson was like, okay, yeah, it might have been, but I was taking back my own stuff. The court looked and said, okay, but that's not our defense. We are going to get you for breaking an entry and for removing property. We're going to get you for robbery. And yeah, you might have had a reason, but that doesn't hold under the court at all. Yeah, but Diddy has admitted everything he did to change over. Coercion by force and fraud. And coercion, force, and fraud. Cass, coercion, force, and fraud. 4 different pieces. But even if you don't believe that he has proven his Rico case, okay? I'm sorry, even if you don't believe that he has proven the sex trafficking, as much as people want to say, oh my God, it was just TV. Yeah,
Yeah, a
that's
week ago.
illegal. You still have a bunch of predicate crimes where you are trying to cover up your violence, treatment of women to protect your reputation, and that is the goal of the Combs enterprise. Again, read the indictment. If you don't want to, go watch my live I did last
With
night. The prosecution,
with
without a
drones.
shadow of a doubt, has proven everything they said in the indictment. And people
Then I saw
have
a
forgotten
missile
that
strike.
what's in the indictment, every sentence is
I can tell you
in
what
the act.
about that.
That is what it is. But let's get
This
back
shit
to
can
it.
happen.
Because the prosecution has told us A and done B.
It's just to
right?
get everyone's attention.
Listen, Giannis said you need a super chat to this, so we ain't reading it. That's right.
Today or yesterday?
Listen,
Okay, then no. I I saw some stuff yesterday, but I just most of it looked like old footage that I'd seen already. Like a video or two I had. The one I had, they just had rows. Yeah, I'd say there was about 30 missiles going off simultaneously with about 10 of them. Like 30 individual, but like 300 missiles, if you will, continuously fired. Funny thing I always find interesting.
We have notebooks, we have mugs, we have t-shirts, Yana.
Yana.
We have everything you can possibly.
Is it countries that go to war, that have been at war rather, not that go to war, have been at war for quite some time, over 5 years. How there's even a fucking country left. Like, how can you know what I mean? How does a country undergo 5 years of bombardment and there's still people around and shit? Like, you would think after some point, one country would, obliterate the other or some shit. Using all sorts of bombs and shit. Alright. Nothing with Iran or Israel, just in general. Like Pakistan and, was it India? Fighting with jets, tanks, soldiers, Navy. They all have the same branches of military that we do, even though ours is, significantly larger, but So I wonder if World War III ever really did happen, because this ain't it, and it ain't gonna be it. It's just a little more hype to the whole fear that they've been trying to feed people over the last 7 years. World War III, North Korea, China, Russia, the Middle East, the fucking Israelis, next Scotland have something to say or some shit. Or the UK or something. But if it ever was a reality, yet again, I wonder how that would play out. I know we have a hell of an attack squad. I know we also have an intricate defense system too. But I just don't know how good it is. Shit ain't been tested since Pearl Harbor or something. Respectfully, I don't think none of them, not a motherfucking one country, could make it over here undetected.
There are rules to the house.
Yeah.
Number one, never leave this product.
One ship
Number
can't
two,
hold enough
it's
fucking
only
people to
proof.
overthrow
Number three,
America, so
that
they're
is
gonna
this
need to
one.
arrive with
Trust.
like about
Not
100
tough.
ships.
Number four,
You know,
don't praise a nigga too much. Otherwise he gonna think you're soft.
Riot's beats.
Gun, what's going on, man? How you doing? blue. Oh, they did? They struck the U.S. military bases? Well, then that's definitely... grounds to start a war. To go to war. But still, with all that said, all that playing out, who's standing with them? Once the shit hit the fan, one of them, Russia or China gonna have to stand up for them. They ain't gonna have to. I don't think in my lifetime that I'll ever wake up to hear that a missile landed here. Yeah, Israel said, oh, our sleeper cell agents, woody whoopie woody woo. That's whatever and has always been. Since the World Trade Center. Motherfuckers been on alert for that shit. Unless motherfuckers been sitting quiet and building nuclear bombs, they can't really do nothing that we don't do to our motherfucking selves. What, a mass shooting? Ooh. Man. But like,
beats, make it funky.
Good to hear, good to hear. Did one missile get through? And once it's identifying who it is, I'm dumping an arsenal on him. Matter of fact, it ain't even got to get through. How about that? Shit headed in our direction. They say North Korea or China, one of the fucking two, have a missile that can reach us in 30 minutes. We'd be prepared to intercept that shit in 3. The best thing they could do is go to the farthest region of their borders and their territories and fire it versus firing it from land. I'm sure they have fucking ships that can launch long-distance ballistic missiles. Again, all that shit is just to ramp up shit. And if they do, then it's over for them. About to see a repeat of fucking Hiroshima. But it's really fucked up, as it's always been. When our country goes to war for what we're going to war for, or for whom we're going to war for. The whom and what has been fucked up for a while now. And right now it's the personally. I don't see one positive thing that they do for us. I would say Hollywood, but since Hollywood's always twisting the stories and they only gonna allow certain stories to get out and leaving truths of certain stories out, then it's, fuck Hollywood. But the Jewish community has done the same thing here that's gotten them ousted in another 100 countries. While we haven't ousted them, that's a whole nother story. But I feel we definitely shouldn't be going to war for them. Mercy.
Hey, mister. You want some white?
I've never turned over a product and saw it written that it was made in Israel. You have to remind me, what do they do for us again? Besides isolate themselves and practice a religion that goes against the main religion of the country. That's something else right there. Whatever form of Christianity you respect, follow, and if you do or don't even matter. To them, they're referred to as the Goyim. You ain't Hasidic Jew, you ain't Israeli, you don't know you ain't rocking the Star of David. I don't give no fucks about you. It seems pretty separatist to me. And then inhabiting in someone else's land while taking up such stance. It's absurd. But, like I said, that's another story for another time. I still feel we shouldn't be going to war for them, though. You're gonna have to remind me. Or point out to me, because I never knew. What do they do for us? What have you done for me lately? Don't follow my lead, or follow my lead if you want, but feel free to chime in. If I'm not mistaken, y'all here in the same country as me. And I still believe in my theory. Applying the war. Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. So there ain't gonna be no war. There'll be some guns blasting and military equipment in the move and whatnot and what have you, but ain't finna be no World War III. Yo, there'll be no place to be. Except maybe here. Except maybe. No. You get into it with Russia, they gonna get enough in. They got more than us. The same shit we seeing happen with Iran and Israel right now, it'd be the same shit here. But what happened? Israel attacked Iran. Iran, they had a shield. Their defense system was way up. Iran had a strategy. They used a bunch of bullshit to throw at them to make them run out of ammunition. Once they ran out of ammunition, shields down. There's nothing to defend the incoming missiles. I don't even have to assume. I know Russia could do that with us. And shit, if they had North Korea or fucking China on their side, it'd make it even worse. The planet doesn't stand a chance. Honestly. You fucking kidding? You worried about fucking shit like bad weather and fucking chemtrails now. Yeah, alright. Let World War happen. You gonna worry about whether or not your motherfucking radiation Geiger meter is working or not. You gonna worry whether or not your motherfucking biohazard suit has leaks in it or not. And to think, the rich, they gonna live underground. They gonna fall back to their bunkers. Okay. How long that gonna last? Motherfuckers would be dead by 5 years. Ain't gonna last more than 5 years, huh? Don't have more than 5 years worth of motherfucking goods to run off of. Going outside, you can't fucking go back into radiation areas unprotected until the decades later. The fuck? Chernobyl is still a dangerous place to go. That was fucking decades ago. So that's out too. This just in, right? Elon ain't bringing the rich nowhere. They ain't figured out planetary travel. They haven't figured out how to make it to another fucking planet just yet. Cool, no worries and shit. No exploding rocket ships and whatnot. And don't even know if the fucking spot's habitable. So that's out. That's out. Let's see. Hiding in the fucking earth for the rest of your fucking days. Because that's what would be the reality for anyone that survived. For the rest of their lifetime, you will be under fucking grounds in a bunker. You come out, this, radiation, this, that ain't no life to live. I'd rather go back to hearing about the aliens. Oh, and apparently, the aliens, you ask your average alien enthusiast or follower, believer, there's records and they say the aliens fuck with the military, and when they be going to shoot nukes and shit, the alien ships be shutting it down and all this other shit. So I don't know, maybe there's some sort of resource on the planet, and the other species, the aliens, they're like, nah, y'all ain't finna lose y'all mind, fuck up everything, woo, nope. And in that theory, cool. Even the aliens won't allow World War III. I don't know what happened back then, why they did, but whatever. Maybe they knew the humans didn't have enough to destroy the planet entirely. We do now. We really do. Should have looked like a depiction out of fucking a Warner Brothers cartoon. Nah, not interested. Wars for money and, ooh, the war machine. Nah, only but so much. Half of the military, at least ours, don't want to be there. They collecting a check. They signed up in hopes there wouldn't be any war. Still collect your paycheck, learn some things. Now you have the right to have a military grade arm when you leave the military. You can go off, start your own personal security team and bodyguard crew and shit like that, whatever, go work for, bigwigs. Yeah, I got military background, whoop, I've seen live action or not, That's what a lot of it's about. And the other half is, motherfuckers that want to cut loose. They enjoying their training, they really want the war. They can't wait. They ready. America keeps those soldiers in action with the other wars that we're helping people with and what have you. Plenty of wars going on. Make no mistake. It just ain't finna be World War though. Not that. In my opinion, check it. If it was really a threat of there being World War, we are but one country. We have a lot of allies. We have allies. Other countries have allies too. Tell me, why hasn't one country shot one missile, long ballistic, missile, in our direction? Why not? Wild out. Fuck it. Risk it for the biscuit, Yeah, we did that, whatever. Why that ain't happened? I mean, Middle Eastern countries and the religion of the Middle East, within all of their different approaches, just like Christianity to Islam, all of them pretty much depict that, some Muhammad from the East will bring down the West, period, by ways of war. We over here with the West, so they ain't making no exception. They not talking about California To them, the West is just America. They have that in their religion text. It's been there forever. Ain't nobody did nothing. Fuck you mean? They had to frame Bin Laden. I feel he was framed. And the people with the 9/11 and all, they were framed. The same fire that jet fuel and fire who burnt down 2 motherfucking goddamn monumental skyscrapers just so didn't happen to burn down and left in perfect condition a passport. Interesting. And who has time to be throwing passports out the window? The windows don't open. And who's opening the back door for what? Muhammad and them, this is the last ride, this final destination. Allahu Akbar. There's no last second, nigga didn't even have a parachute. So there's nowhere for they got thrown beforehand. No. Motherfuckers was framed. And that's that. But back to reality, they didn't do nothing. Even while it's all in their text. Even while some of them grown up, had children, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, and all that. It's been right there in that book. Ain't nobody did nothing about it, though. So we get. Shit, they even hype them up. When they commit their life to God and die in the process, they're promised 99 virgins. I don't know why not 100, but 99 virgins. As soon as they get to heaven, hey, Muhammad, you here? Yes. We got, untainted, untampered, untouched bitches on standby for you, sir. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, there gotta be so many women in heaven to supply every Muslim that arrives with 99. That's crazy. The reality of the matter is, ain't finna be no smoke. We gonna get the CNN, the Fox News, the AB7, CBS, and all of them shots of villages just taking on continual, bombardment of missiles and shit, day and night. Now that one just came to me right now. I remember when they told me, I took my shahada. 99 virgins for me when I get to heaven? Yes. It's written right here. Is it written right there like the same way the forefathers wrote the promise to my ancestors about the reparations and 40 acres and a mule? Well, it was 40 acres and a mule, right? They ain't writing nothing about no reparations. I took my shahada a long time ago, over a decade ago. I don't think that Muhammad got 99 virgins waiting for me when I get there. That I'm not feeling it. And I'm gonna have a problem with it anyway. Like, who are these bitches? They got it for you. Who told you I wanted to spread myself so thin? What the fuck going on here? At a rate of having 99 virgins within a year's calendar, that means that, what the fuck? You got 100, you got 99 relations going on, and shit. I there's gonna have to be a major sexual shift passing from this reality through the afterlife, getting to heaven. There gotta be a God up there just, fuck you mean? Like, I only get to talk to Yolanda for 3 days. Get to know her 3 days out of the year for the rest of eternity. Because you gotta be fair, spread the love around. Can't just be ignoring bitches by the dozens and shit, because I ain't got time for you right now. I don't know, I just don't see how that would go over well. And so many dudes have bought into it, because they wasn't getting no buns out there in the desert. Mind you, all the women are covered up. What the fuck do you find sexy about a black cloth? Now that's using a lot of imagination. We had the motherfucking Sears, Roebucks, Bloomingdale's, women's undergarment section and shit. And if you rub it enough, you actually thought that you would rub away the bra. Those were back in the days, you know what I'm saying? What they got. Bitches ain't showing shit. And when they do, god damn it, they enticing and seducing the whole fucking planet. So yeah, these niggas is already amped up, ain't getting no buns. No, Ali, you must die first. And there'll be 99, of the best waiting for you. Inshallah. Wallah, my brother. You take this AK and this RPG. Now go do some damage. That's not really taking a good step back and seeing the bullshit. God damn. I'd have been Ali. I think I'll stay. I'll move to the West, We're all going to die one day. I'm going to live up my best life. No. A Muslim chick, maybe? Whoa. Yes, I do. Forgot about her. Thank you. Yes, I do. Right. Yes. Give me a second here. What was her deal again? He said, what's your deal? She was the one that told me she was dancing under the sheets. I said, Wallah. See? We're locked in. Like the fucking Wonder Twins. And that part, I forgot about that. I like it. It had a nice ring to it. No doubt. Big up to her for that. Then shortly after, it became the trend. Now everybody want to be a boss and shit. Did she? She did. It was the snaps. I think snaps ended with her. That's why you sent me the photo bomb, trying to get me to get flashbacks and shit. Cause that's the only place I remember that shit from. Yo, what's going on here? Okay, all right. You know, let me respond. Look back. Well, what the fuck? You know what? Fuck the response. For the record, I don't like snap bombs, photo bombs, and shit. But yeah, I remember her. She was cool. I don't remember there being no problem or nothing. You didn't like her so much, but that was, a you thing. And equivalently and equal enough, you brought about some people that I didn't like her so much, so even. Well, I thought I did, then I came to realization, you know what? I don't like this guy. Man, I forgot all about her. I wonder how, when, where, what's going on with her these days? She caught up at some protest at one of the college campuses or some shit. Like, what's going on? I hope not. She was just being social. She wasn't. I hope nothing bad happened. Like, you know what I mean? Her family found out that she had the motherfucking social site or some shit. You know what I mean? I don't think that go over well in them households. What? You have social media? You only allowed to interact with the world, but so much. If I recall, she did. Just not fully. She never showed her face. She showcased other parts. I honestly forgot all about her, though. I thought initially you were referring to the other religious fanatic, but she wasn't Muslim. I almost remember her username, but I don't. She came in here, was chilling, and then before we can get to the third chill, she snapped. On some next level shit. Talking about, what God said and what a good man of righteousness, man of God is supposed to do, and I done brought my mother here, and that's what the... I can almost remember her username. I said, now let's slow this crusade down a bit. Yeah, she had already. She had all these movies going in her head. To the point she didn't. She thought I was out here on the market, I guess, whatever. I know I've never promoted it as if it's safer you ask me something versus you assume some shit. I can assure you that. That's what she did. It was robot something. I keep thinking I'm not close. No, it was robot something. I don't know if the word robot was in there or something. Some shit she had. Fuck was this bitch name? She came in writing verses from Prometheus and Abraham said to Matthew before he had met Mary. I don't want to hear none of that shit. What was this bitch name? She earned herself. Initially, she got a shot glass of Smack Daniels. She wouldn't stop with the Bible thumping. I said, here you go. Have a tall glass, shut the fuck up. We can talk about religion, but you're not finna beat me over the head. With your conversation as to why you act in this way and that way when all of it was based off attraction that you had, which has changed because I didn't read your comment or I'm giving somebody else some attention. I forget what the fuck the matter was. I know it was something similar to some shit like that. What? Yeah, all right. Oh, your mom's here. Now, how you doing, ma'am? Boxatron, was that it? Sound right. Yeah. Sound right. I'm sure I probably told her something about jumping on her light bike if it had Tron in the name. Hey, I think right about now you need to fire up your little light bike. Get up out of here. This bitch. These bitches. Really though. Honestly. If I got one fake in death. The other one tried to force me into some sort of marriage and some online marriage situation and shit. This bitch from the UK, she the one telling jokes about, no, you can join in on the bukkake. I said, I'm sorry. You know what a bukkake is? Yeah, no worries. I clean it out my hair. Oh, okay. Years later, bitch in here talking about some, it sent me a six-pack because she was dating EPB. And that niggas was, that Norwegian was just so tight because his girl had told me the whole thing. He was there and he wasn't dating her at the time. She was the one with the sense of humor about it. Her face went paler than it was when I asked her. When I asked her, hold on, all right, yeah, it was a joke. Okay, right. But please, fellas, raise your hands. How many of you have had a woman joke with you and a group of other dudes about having a bukkake session with her? Anyone? Any takers? Look at that. Nobody. It's not the kind of shit you really joke about. But, you know. Me neither, but thanks. You know, I know if I ever forgot, you remember. At this point, I don't even know how we got to talking about these bitches. Now, wait a minute. We went from talking about the World War III to these bitches. What? I don't know how we made the jump, but yeah. I think it was somewhere with the religious fanatics, and then we ended up with Boxatron. That's right, yeah, you started it. Yeah, well, me. You start talking about the girl, the Muslim girl. Which, again, by all means, I hope she ain't anything good. It's predominantly always been cool within my lives, or crazy. No in between. But so yeah, back to all that. I don't know. I don't claim to know what's going to play out, but I believe it's going to be the same old that it's always been. We're going to get high definition of one country and going to war with another while we're helping one of the countries. That's nothing new. It's what it always is. Like it or not. Like that's just a fact. I mean, support it or not. That's just a fact. That's what it's been. And I think this has just been a hype, publicized hype pass as a reason to get involved. You know, yeah. America stays looking for conflict to get involved in. Huh? two countries are at war, and one of them has a significant amount of diamonds, diamond mines and resources, and then it could be proven we know that. Oh man, we on their side. Or we on the other team's side, and then we gonna claim the diamonds. One way or another, we getting them damn diamonds. That's what we here for. That's what they always do. They've already pointed out factors, so this ain't no different. Here, we need peace. Do we get it? You get the peace that you fight for. Call it your piece of the pie. Peace overall. The news channels wouldn't hear of it. You crazy. So, right? Because there's some crazy shit that the other side of peace on the news every damn night. We don't get it. All we have is the peace of mind that we can fucking obliterate anyone that stands against us. Let's just be honest. Like even Russia and Korea, it's cool. We lose, but they losing with us. They coming with us. Everybody going. Anyway. Missiles ain't just firing from America. Don't forget about our allies. They got they'll be firing missiles that'll be on their way to try to make it over to us. At the same time, we got stations over there, all sorts of shit. And from here, so anybody raise the fuck up, gonna get laid the fuck down. As a country, as a unit. And again, there's no cool play out on World War III. Run back the simulation 100 times, and there is no variation where everything's all right. The aftermath, the smoke, the actual smoke afterwards, still killing people for decades. So, it's everything or it's nothing. And so far, everything is what they've been opting for. World leaders collectively like, yeah, fuck it, we're out of here. Since when? Back then, mind you, mentalities were different. And what people were capable of, what countries were capable of, were different. Me personally, I have no fucking interest whatsoever in seeing any of that shit. Alright? I'd rather see world union, world resolve, worldly commune, versus World War III. There's way too much firepower. And as large as you may think our country is, it is, but it ain't that big. Okay? Our defenses fall in the same shit we seen Iran get. We gonna be getting from like 10 countries. It ain't finna be pretty. they'll wipe us off the map. We'll wipe them off before, or it'll be a simultaneous thing. We'll be around for a bit. You know what I mean? We might knock off a few countries, a couple, a dozen. World War III? Yeah. Is everybody for themselves? Missiles in the air? Military active? Draft underway? Oh. We want to take it back to our grandfather's day, I see. Okay. We get our own little variation of it. And it won't be a variation. It'll be very different. And with that threat that Iran made about sleeper cells, then you really might have to worry. Because don't forget, we are like a super unified fucking mass of land called country, United States of America. It consists of a lot of motherfuckers. It ain't just good old Americans and black Americans and Native Americans. No. Everybody in this bitch. Everybody. Countries you ain't even know existed and shit. You forgot existed. They here. Mm-hmm. So, and they have communities and money, and they've been getting the bread, getting to the bread. That's been their main focus, just to be here. 9 out of 10 foreign Americans. Wasn't born here, but been here for a bit. Or even if initially their people weren't born or here and they came and got the immigration papers and now they're the second or third generation that was born here. Still got to question, where does their patriotism lie? I don't think we got time to be sorting that all out. Does it lie with the country that you've lived in for the past 2 decades, 3 decades, 2 generations? That, you know, predominantly the family has been taking money, which was cool, earn money. Yeah, it was what the fuck we all about. But sending the bread back to home, funding what exactly? Yeah. Funding family back there, that's cool. That's cool to an extent. If it's fuck the families here and you taking our money and funding your family over there, well, I think we might have a little problemo. We see that playing out with the Latin call for the black community right now. Now, hold on, Pablo. Wait un minute. You wasn't rocking with me before. You didn't even want me in the family. Now you want me in the streets and shit, shouting about rights and what's wrong with the, you know, the mistreatment of the brown and the black and brown within the country and what have you and what not. All Pedro's money going back to Mexico. What you mean? Huh? Now let's go down to Mexico and see if we get a warm reception. Now wait a minute, you know. I cut Pedro in on some bread. You know, he wanted to cut the lawn. He wanted to help do construction. We gave him work and all that. We wouldn't know what's with the foul treatment. All of a sudden now I'm a Moreno, you know, American, black or the black gringo and shit. What the fuck going on here? No, that ain't gonna work. And that's just Mexico. That's something you can relate to more, you know. Most Americans want to go down there for spring break. Not this year. but run that same program on any other country. See what your American patriotism or your Americanism is gonna get you. I'm telling you, I stayed there 7 years in France. They didn't. No, they did. The police did. One of them was Arabic, the other one was French. It's the only place I ever caught police brutality. Like, I don't know how I made it to here without the police, beating me over the head, knocking a tooth loose or some shit like that. You put your guns out, hands up, freeze, I tend to comply. You got me. You know what I mean? They was just on some hatred shit over there in Paris because I was American. Black American. And American, They didn't really appreciate me. Nor my presence. And that was France. Supposed to be one of our number one allies. I don't know what relations are these days, but I know that as an American, the only place I ever fucking encountered police brutality was outside of this country. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. I remember that though. But he thought he was too cool. He unleashed a little flurry on me. Ate those. It was nothing. But it still happened though. And I didn't do nothing. I literally did absolutely nothing. Them niggas became judge, jury, and executioner all in one. Google that. How many Americans are locked up overall in other countries? But we lost about a good mill. Motherfuckers, you ain't finna hear from them no more. Get locked up in Egypt. You'll make it out 85 years later with a turban and shit. Speaking from the Quran and whatnot. Yeah. That's after they've let every agency interrogate you. Because, they think you're a spy, man. What was you doing here anyway? Bottom line, you will not receive the warm welcome that they receive here. So. And wait a minute. I never figured that out, right? If Samir is getting 99 virgins for wilding out officially, what does Delilah get? What's she get? I know you bullshit. They ain't 99 Muhammad's on standby. She gets to. Well, who's to say she was a virgin? Like, what's the perks for the females? Like, are they just, what I mean? There's nothing about that. They're seen and respected as 3/4 of a human or something. I never got that far into the studies. I'm curious now. I need to know. I know Samir get 99 virgins. He ain't had no buns in his life, but he got all these buns waiting for him on the high grounds. Them bitches just waiting. They waiting for Samir's arrival, and it's all about what Samir want to do from here on out. You know what I mean? But what about Delilah? What'd she get? I'm gonna have to take these inquiries to my local masjid. Ask the imam what's in it for Delilah. I mean, considering, you know, how we see they treated, you know, I'm guessing it, nothing. I don't know. Do you know? Because I'm not making none of this up. These are all facts. If Samir were to make it to somewhere important here and destroyed the establishment within his cause of bringing down the establishment, oh man, he praised. And there's 99 virgins waiting for him in heaven. I mean, that's a deal right there. He said, all the pum pum you can handle. And then some, for as far as the eye can see. You know, we ask the questions that others don't. I want to know what's in it for the female that performs jihad, because that's what it is, jihad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm going out for God on this one. You know, the ninja got my bitches on standby. I'll catch y'all later. That's a different type of belief system right there. Oh shit. No way. I haven't heard about nothing. God never said, yeah, I got this, you know what I mean? He's bad, he's on the side. Huh? Put in that work. No, just have faith. Put that work in, you know what I'm saying? Destroy some of my creations, and I have some better creations for you. Huh? Yeah, you ain't supposed to understand. Didn't they tell you? Nobody understands God's ways and his inner workings and shit. You know what I mean? That's above your motherfucking pay grade. Ain't that some shit? Mm. Now, you Afghanian, or I mean Armenian, throw your scroll in the air and explain this shit. Hmm? On the Shabazz. You over there lost on the episode of Dunes of Our Lives and shit. Fuck going on? I'm good Tisa back on. Let her tell how your boy being brought down and there won't be no more motherfucking all white affairs going on and shit.
Went, listen, come in and shut the door. We have all the slogans. If you guys want a way to support, right, or just show you part of the fam, make sure y'all check out the merch. There's sayings, there's logos, there's everything.
Yeah.
Listen, and every month or maybe every few weeks, we're going to replenish the merch with different sayings, different logos. I'm trying to expand slowly, but surely. I'm like surely, but slowly. I don't even know what that means, okay? Oh, thank you, not banana. You said the merch is so cute. Listen, listen, somebody said free yay from what? Did he seem like he got something on it? I'm gonna do a video about that later when I get home. But for right, or maybe on the break. But for right now, it is what it is. Okay, so where are we at, right? I wouldn't believe any of these reports saying that Diddy is not testifying. They're always trying to catch the feds off guard, but I know the feds is sitting on ready. Again, what happened to all Diddy's celebrity friends? What happened to all Diddy's employees saying that? Isn't it funny? Nobody is willing to go on stand, not under direct, because that's friendly fire, but under cross examination. I know Marine called me Emily. Esteban was sitting on ready, just ready to go, right? Like Mark Darrigo said, it's a six pack of white women. Diddy got bodied by a six pack of white women. I hope they literally put, like, when they're done, cheese with six packs, right? Yes, Angel Limbs, I believe we do post to the UK. We do ship to the UK. I think we ship to most countries, but let me just double check on that, okay? But I think we ship to most countries, definitely the UK. So anyway, the whole point of the matter is with Diddy, he, nobody, and I mean employees, are willing to submit to cross-examination. Direct is where you have to keep it by the book. Cross is when you can get a little. That's why people think that Diddy's team is killing the game. No, you get more liberty on cross, but you also get to perjure people. You also get to treat people like they're a hostile witness. I find it odd that hardly anybody in Diddy's sphere, employee-wise, is coming out and will testify that it wasn't a RICO, that they didn't get this. Diddy should have had every employee of Bad Boy coming up on stand saying, no, I didn't know this, no, I didn't know that, blah, blah, blah. The fact that he can't, the fact that he won't, it tells you everything you need to know. But even then, right? you have to remember that you only need one instance of sex trafficking. Just one instance of sex trafficking, okay? Listen, also, we want to say what's up to Zandra. We've got Darla Mills, ABC Live, on the scene. Teresa Richards, thank you so much. Also, Zandra, we got your girl Darla in the background. I'm not going to photobomb her, but what's up, Zandra? I hope you're having a great morning. And, what else can I say? I was thinking about Darla, but I'll talk to her later. Let's get back on the Diddy thing. All right. So again, the verdict instructions, okay? Diddy's team submitted nonsensical verdict instructions. They have to try. It's standard thing. They're literally trying to get more testimony in, more closing argument, more persuasion. If you find you don't need to do that. That's not what happens in a jury instruction. Another set of jury instructions they submitted said just answer yes or no. Because the more vague a jury's ruling is, the more a jury will just say, not, let's just say, in Diddy's perfect world, the jury comes out and says not guilty. They won't, but let's play make-believe, all right? It's Mel Lexi, right? What happens with that? If they just say he's not guilty, but they don't really speak on why they think he's not guilty, that's grounds for appeal for the government. The same thing if they say he's guilty, but they don't clearly outline on what charges they think he's guilty or why they think he's guilty or how they came to that conclusion, then the defense can appeal. That is why they want vague, bare minimum jury instructions. The prosecution is not having it. They literally said, no, we want you to outline what you have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, why you feel like that. What is your sun, your moon? We want to know your rising. We want to know at what plane was the moon, the sun, and the stars when you were born. They want all the detail because that cuts down the risk of appeal. Judge Aaron has been super lenient on this case. And by that, he has given the defense so much grace. I would argue too much grace, but he wanted to make sure that it doesn't come back on appeal. He wants to make sure he files it. He wants to make sure that this trial is above reproach, and he wants to make sure that he is the 1, the 2, and 3 that will have the final say about what's going on, right? Listen. Somebody said, please look over law, government can't appeal. Are you insane? Who said that? Please look up on law, the government can't appeal. Do you look at the United States? If it's a not guilty verdict, the government can't, well, actually, I don't even know about the not guilty, but I do know this. The government can appeal any decision that comes down, the same way the defense can. And the prosecution are known to appeal when they don't get the verdict that they want. Who told you that you need to look at the law, the government can't appeal? Who told you that? The only way they can't appeal is if he gets a not guilty verdict. But even then, if it is jury nullification is, fine, you got a not guilty verdict. But based off of the evidence and the letter of the law, it is impossible that anybody, a reasonable person under the circumstances, could have gotten a not guilty verdict. Jury nullification, basically saying that the jury don't know ish, they don't know, and this is something that's weird. They can appeal on jury nullification. You need to look at the law. The government can't appeal. Southern District of New York's middle name is I will appeal this. They appeal sentencing. Let's just say that Diddy is found guilty, and the judge says, you know what? We're going to give you time served. You can appeal the sentencing because you think it was too lenient. The government can't. You can go for, if it's a not guilty, you can go for jury nullification, saying that there's no way the jury could have gotten that. You can also appeal for a guilty, no, and you can also not appeal, but if it is a hung jury and a mistrial, that's a new thing. Who told you the government doesn't appeal? Y'all need to stop listening to these pro-Diddy channels, and y'all need to stop listening to ChatGTP. Jury nullification, if it's a not guilty, and the government can appeal sentencing or anything else, the same way the defense can. Stop it. The only thing that would stop them is if it is a not guilty verdict and the jury clearly outlines in the evidence and their findings why they found him not guilty and doesn't leave any nullification, any room for nullification or vagueness, okay? Oh, Randy C. said, please hurry up and get your national TV platform. You know what? I might just take this platform to YouTube and start a show and be national. I am Hollywood. Thank you so much for the super chat. it's me and Lexi say guilty across the board if they're not paid off. I truly, honestly don't think that any juror will be dumb enough to take a payoff. I really, honestly don't. I know Diddy has money, but I can't believe that anybody will be so stupid as to actually thwart justice that much, right? Listen. Pamela Washington said, "Oh my God, Tisa, the government cannot appeal the verdict. The verdict is fine." Who told y'all that? Who told y'all that? That's not true. That is not true. That is not true. You guys are treating this like this is To Kill a Mockingbird. Of course. Every day, we move further and further away from God. Every MFing day. Y'all, listen. You guys take one true thing that might be true in certain circumstances and you apply it across the board. There's something called jury nullification. You guys stop. 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 Listen, I'm not arguing with y'all anymore. Let me just move on, right? So anyway, hold on really quick, right? I just think my hands full, right? Anyway, right? Anyway, there is a hung jury, there is mistrial, there is jury nullification. The government can also appeal sentencing if they don't think the sentencing was in the federal minimum mandatory guidelines, okay? Anyway, where else can we go? So anyway, hold on y'all, I need my hands out. So anyway, we're looking at, hold on. 1 second, I'm just texting. Okay, this one is for, so where are we at, right? Where are we at? Exactly. Marie Bowman said the statute provides a legal framework that allows both the defendants and the government to seek appellate review on decisions made in federal criminal cases. Y'all are tripping. I swear to God, people watch one episode of A Time to Kill and To Kill a Mockingbird and y'all be swearing, ask an attorney. Do y'all not know that Diddy has attorneys and even some of your faves in their pocket? That's why Diddy's been trying to get me, well, I believe his team's been trying to get me kicked out of the courtroom. They've been working with bloggers with no integrity to go after me, to besmirch my name, to do this and that, and yet and still the law remains. And the fact that in this day of chat GDP, people are still, oh my God, Tisa acts an attorney, it can't be appealed. Why do you think that the government is saying we want this objection preserved? Look at the transcript. Look at the record. We want this preserved, Your Honor. We want our objection on record, because if you do not object to something in real time, you cannot appeal it when it is time for appeals, right? It's me, Lexi said, Diddy is used to being in control, so he might test. Exactly. And again, I don't take the prosecution's word for anything. That will do. Now, if you guys don't know how do appeals work in the Southern District of New York, let me get to my notes app. Appeals from the Southern District of New York go to the U.S. government can appeal a ruling made by the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York. How it works. Appeals from the SDNY go to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, which reviews the district court's decision for legal and procedural errors. The Department of Justice typically files the appeal on behalf of the government. The appeal must usually be filed within 30 days of the final judgment or order, or 60 days if the U.S. government is a party, okay? What kind of rulings can be appealed? Final judgments, after trial or dismissal. Certain interlocutory, non-final orders, if they meet specific criteria affecting substantial rights or under collateral order doctrine, or any pretrial decisions in criminal cases under limited circumstances. Like if they're saying, oh, you suppressed key evidence, they can go back and be like, that was the wrong ruling, we want it appealed, and if it is appealed, then there is a new trial. But even all that, final judgments in the Southern District of New York can be appealed, right? Listen, can be appealed. Okay, listen, you guys are talking about, hold on a second. Listen. 1 second. Listen. Listen. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You guys can't tell me. I hear somebody saying, Tisa, we're talking about if he's found innocent. Stop doing a Diddy and moving the goalposts. We were talking about whether the government, first of all, Diddy's not going to be found innocent. They have him on the bribery debt to rights. They have him on the kidnapping debt to rights. Those are two predicate crimes on a RICO. They have him for one count of sex trafficking according to what he did to Cassie. They have him on one count of blackmail when they have him on text messages and tape saying that he was going to 100% blackmail Cassie if she did not consent to more free calls, and he was going to tell her parents. We have him on the violence and the blackmail when it comes to Jane. We do not know if there's a forced labor. That might not be proven. Or they might say, oh, we don't think it's thing. The arson, I believe they have them, but it's up for debate. But they have them on bribery. They have them on obstruction of justice. They have them on kidnapping. They have them on attempted kidnapping. They have them on attempted bribery. Because don't forget, one of the hotel people didn't do that. They have them on RICO. They have them on transporting prostitutes across state lines and internationally. They have them on moving drugs across state lines and internationally. And they have him on his employees setting up free calls both internationally and domestically. There is no way in God's green earth that Diddy's going to be found innocent of all charges. There is no way. So stop moving the MF and gold. I'm sick of y'all coming in here spreading misinformation, not y'all, but the people in the back, spreading misinformation. Oh my God, Tisa, the government can't appeal, making a blatant statement. And then when I break it down, saying, what y'all talking about? Well, yeah, but that's if he's found innocent. He's not going to be found innocent. At the very least, they got him on bribery. They got him on obstruction of justice. They got him on kidnapping, attempted bribery. They have him on so many things. They have him on obstruction of justice. You know how you know they have him? Because that's why he's sitting in jail now and not walking around freely trying to pay off people. So what are y'all talking about? What are y'all, the people, not y'all, but the people in the back, what are y'all talking about? Stop doing Diddy mess, moving the goalposts. Stop. Mignonette Bell, thank you so much for the super chat. Listen. No, you guys don't understand. I like getting hype. Nobody's getting to me. This is my natural setting. I'm just a very passionate person. I'm the person on Thanksgiving when they're like, damn, why did they get her started? Because over the pecan pie and over the blueberry pie and over the pecan, the Mrs. Smith apple and pecan pie. I love Mrs. Smith. Those little pies that you have to bake in the oven on Thanksgiving, that is my jam. I don't like pumpkin pie, but over that and some ice cream with some Cool Whip, yes, I'm trying to be toxin free, but I will put that Cool Whip on in a second. The whole point of the matter is, this is just my natural resting place. I like to argue things passionately. It's fun to me, okay? But anyway, let's get into the Diddy thing. I do believe that Diddy's team is not being, we cannot believe them as to whether Diddy is going to testify. And if you look at the ledger, everything they told us A, they ended up doing B. Last week they told us, 2 weeks ago, they told us they was going to be on for 4 weeks. Then they went on to 2 weeks. Then they said it's only going to be 3 to 5 days. Then they said it was going to be 1 day. And now they're trying to spin it that they're so confident in the case that they're resting. They're not. They're trying to hold something for appeal because they know that Diddy is going to be guilty of at least, out of all the charges, they got him dead to rights for at least 5. That's enough to put him away for the rest of his life. RICO. As much as people want to say it's just DV, DV is illegal. Even if you don't think he was sex trafficking, there was a RICO conspiracy to abuse, kidnap, hold hostage, do all that stuff, right? Listen, Shadi TV is putting all my 10th grade criminal justice skills. Hey, we know you get crunk. Exactly, right? Exactly. Marie said a lawyer said a 2-day defense means they know their defense is weak. Not even that. They know their defense is weak because they know that if they put people on the stand, and they're under penalty of perjury, it's going to jam Diddy up more than help him. He doesn't have a defense. And his whole, they were hoes, they loved it, literally showing freak-off tapes of people that they admitted were drugged out of their minds, enjoying it. You think that's your defense? That's your defense? Are we going back to like 1937 where they were saying you couldn't get raped if you got pregnant? You couldn't be raped if you came and you finished? You couldn't be raped? You think that you expect, even that defense, you expect in 2025, a their minds, throwing up, crying, getting UTIs and infections so painful that they were taken out to the court, doing that stuff in that dark hotel room with stinky candles and the blinds drawn with baby oil everywhere, so much so that every time he checked into a hotel, he got $6,000 or $8,000 in damage to furniture, baby oil everywhere, and he really loved when they were demonstrating. That was his favorite time to partake. Why they had UTIs and pain. And you expect me to believe in 2025 that a woman subjugated herself to that for free rent and to be part of the lifestyle? Stop it. Stop it. I realize Mignette Bell, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. You finding your 40, Navinal, Marsha P, Vinyl, Marsha P, not Banana Enema, Marika Mimi, Jody Johnson Strong. Good morning, sweetie. And Stella, make sure y'all say thank you so much for these super chats. Everybody show Mignette Bell. You really expect me to believe that in Al Gore's internet. Oh, also, Danya W said, hey girl, please stay cool out there today. Y'all already see I am sweating up a storm. I prefer, oh wait, the press is going in first. I still got a few more minutes to talk trash. Y'all really expect me to believe that a woman literally put her, and who knows what they caught? You expect me to believe that a woman willingly, and while it was happening, he would look at them and be like, why you looking like that? Why you in Drake? Can I talk to you for a second? And then would take them into a room and beat them and then come back and make them finish things to the point of one of the entertainers said that they got ED and couldn't perform because it was so weird and sick and cruel what they found. Every Smex worker said, yo, I think Cassie is a victim. Chaos Forever said, for your morning coffee, please, those eyes should be classified as a weapon. Oh, Chaos Forever, thank you so much, right? Listen, the feds cannot appeal only if it's not guilty. Thank you. Listen, the whole point of the matter is I find it laughable. I find it a joke. Do you really honestly feel for any moment that any woman will willingly engage in that? I know Diddy wants everybody to believe that everybody was so pressed to be a part of the lifestyle, but they're too much sun. But there, I'm waiting because we're about to go line up, so I'm gonna wait and run. If you see the phone going like this, you know that we started lining up, okay? But my whole point of the matter is you cannot seriously, honestly believe that any woman would subjugate, any man, any person will willingly subjugate. And the whole time they've been high up their minds. I get it. There's a lot of people that feel that that's what they get. You was on yachts, that's what you get. I find it odd that a lot of men that talk about gold digging think that there's a price on a woman's body, but yet you're wrong for actually being a gold digger. Again, I get it, but it's just not flying. And to court, I will talk to y'all soon. See y'all on the break. It's going to be a big day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Welcome to TMZ Live. I'm Levin here.
Alex Michelson here, filling in for Charles.
So, this is as Joe Biden would say, big blanking deal. The defense in the Diddy case has said that when they take the case over from prosecutors, which should happen in the
Alright, well, I'm up out of here. Stay safe, stay smart, stay up. You know my motto. Hope catch you on the next one. GC, have a safe flight. And to all, good night.